In this lesson, we'll begin to add our geometry by starting with the wheel arches. Alright, so there are many different ways that we could go about building this car. Let's look at one of those ways. So what I want to do is actually start with some of the pieces that are going to be a little bit more difficult to actually manually go in and create. So for instance, we know we want a really nice circle right here for these wheel arches and back here. And this is going to be something that you wouldn't want to go in and draw by hand necessarily. You know, you could use NURBS to do that, something that would give you a very nice curve, or you could use a primitive that lets the computer create that actual circle for you, and then build from there. So that's what I'm going to do for this particular project. So let's go ahead and go to our Create panel, and we're going to create geometry. And let's start by just creating a tube. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this out from basically the center of the wheel. Alright, so if we take a look at this, this is the tire. This will be the opening here in the wheel arch. And then this is where that geometry starts. So we're looking at creating geometry basically from this line up to this line. Okay, but we're going to start from the center right in here. So I'll go ahead and pull that out, just out to that outer edge. And then for that second radius, I'll go ahead and pull into where that opening starts. And then I'll just give it some height. It doesn't really matter what the height is. Now, right off the bat, I can see that this is very low res. It's in fact too low res for what we need to do. Since the computer's doing the work for us and it's going to create this nice curve, we might as well add some extra res because we know we're going to eventually need it. So let's go ahead and put this res to, let's go ahead and try 16, try 18. I'm going to go ahead and set that to 20. Okay. You can see now that this radius is a bit too large, so we can go ahead and dial that outer radius down a bit. And let's go ahead and just move this. So I'm going to go and go to my move and just kind of move this over to be in the right spot there. Okay. And just get something that's fairly close. And then if we need to change our parameters, we can go into our Modify panel now instead of our Create panel and edit the sides of any of that. Okay? And this is going to be a little bit off, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that mine is a perfect circle there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and scale, take that outer radius down just a little bit. So I think that is going to be pretty good right there. What we want to do now is I'm going to just hit Alt-W, and we're going to go into our perspective. And now we don't need this outer part. So what I'm going to do is I want to be able to edit this. I'm going to go ahead and just convert this down to an editable poly. So I'll just right click, convert to editable poly. I'm going to turn off my selection bracket just by hitting J. And I'll turn on edged faces just by hitting F4. Okay, now I can come in, and what I want to do is actually access the polygons. So I'll go ahead and access the polygon sub-object. You can see my selection is a circle. I'm going to go ahead and change that up. You can also hit Q to toggle through those. I'm going to go ahead and drag across there. And what I want to do is just delete basically all of those polygons except for the front. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete those. So that leaves me with is just that kind of front polygons right in there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take this border. Let's in fact take the whole thing, and from the top view, let's go ahead and start to put this into position. So we know that we want this to be kind of the outermost area here. So let's say that's maybe right in there or so. Okay, it doesn't have to be super exact, but you just want it in the kind of the right place there. Okay. All right, and then what we want to do is come in and say, well, this line is going to be the outermost part, and then this border needs to actually come in. So I'm going to go ahead and select the border sub-object that selects that whole outer area there. And I'll go ahead and just kind of move this in. Something kind of like that. All right. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is actually create this flat area right in here. So I'm going to select this border. Okay, and when you're duplicating edges and kind of extruding edges, It may be known as extrude. You may know it as extrude in another software package. In this case, all we want to do is actually just clone those edges, and that will give us the effect of extruding them. Okay. You could also do an extrude, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just go to my scale. Okay, and I'm going to just hold down Shift, and now scale this down, and that'll give you the effect of kind of extruding those and creating a nice flat space right in here. All right. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is kind of utilize this for the back end as well. So we've got the front side. So to copy this, we can do the same thing. It's basically what we did was clone the edges, which created that extra loop there. So to clone the entire object, we'll just select that whole object, go to something like Move, and just hold down Shift, and as we move this over, it's going to bring up the clone options, and I want to make that a copy. You can also make it an instance or a reference. You can choose a number of copies, and I'll go ahead and just say OK, and move this back here. And now this one, I think we're missing a line here for that actual, this actual part right in here. So we've got the opening here. So as long as this inner edge is lined up with this opening of the wheel arch, that should be just fine. Okay. All right. So now that we've got these, we might want to go in and actually start to cut off the bottom. Well, to begin with, we know we don't need any of this geometry for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this guy. Go to Sub-Object, select Polygons, and then we can get rid of any of these polygons that are down here. Guy. We need to select the top level before we go ahead and change our selection, and then we can select these polygons and go ahead and just blow those away. Alright, and we can go ahead and get rid of that one as well. Alright, now if we want to go ahead and make this one object, so let's say we want to go ahead and connect these, what I can do is select one of them, and then go down to Edit Geometry here in our Edit Geometry rollout in our Modify panel, go to Attach, and simply select the other one. And now these are one piece. So what that means, I can simply select this, and then I go to Sub-Object, I can select sub-objects on these. And it will also enable us to kind of connect this with geometry later on if we want to do that, which we do. Alright, so the last thing for this lesson I'm going to do is come in and just move these vertices over just a little bit so that it kind of comes down and ends in this kind of nice straight fashion. Here, grab all these and kind of scale them down so they're kind of nice and straight, and keeping the width there. And I can do the same thing here and just kind of straighten these out as it comes down to the bottom here, and just make sure that this kind of matches up with that line there, and straighten that up. And then we can do the same thing for the back as well. And come in and straighten this up. And in this case, you can see these come a little bit forward. And go ahead and pull those down and create this kind of nice transition here. We're going to do the same thing up here. Just kind of pull those in. I'm just moving them in 2 axes, so they're not going to be moving in the depth there. In the X. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got here. So you can see from the side, we've got those matched up. From the top, we can check those, make sure that they're matching up. Alright, and then from the perspective, you can see what that looks like. So we've got those kind of wheel arches built in there. Alright, so now that we've got those built in, the next thing that we might want to do is to actually create some geometry between these. So start to build up the side and the rest of the body of the car. Okay, so we can go ahead and do that in the next lesson. We'll look at how we can use Bridge to actually do that very, very quickly. So we'll see you in the next lesson.